It turns out we are not the only ones thinking about the tail end of Trump's presidency and beyond. Cankles McTaco Tits is thinking about the exact same thing. Kylie, pop up this headline. The Lincoln Project retweets from Fox News, and the quote is from Cankles, and he says, "I want to try and get to heaven. If I can get to heaven, this will be one of the reasons." And the Lincoln Project says lots to unpack here, but mostly his health can't be right if this is top of mind for him. And I completely agree with this because I think about this all the time. I know you guys think about this all the time. When you're in the middle of trauma, when you're in the middle of a lot of problems, you think, when is this going to end? And it makes me think about the Ride in the Beast and the closed door meeting in Alaska, that he feels cornered. And he comes out of that meeting talking about the end of his life and a bedside confession. I mean, this is wild, you guys. It is absolutely wild. But what is even crazier about all of this is always when it goes through the Fox News filter. And I want to remind you guys, Jesse Watters has spent the majority of his career talking about masculinity, talking about how real men don't sip out of straws, talking about real men don't eat milkshakes. Real men don't eat ice cream, and that Trump is so alpha and he's such a big boy and he is such a man and he is a man's man. So I was shocked as shit to see Jesse Watters' take on this. Kylie, play the clip.
The resolution of this war.
Well, it's really all about getting into heaven. And I think he's kidding, but he's also partially serious. And that's why we love him, because he has this childlike spirit, this Sunday school of thought that if you just do good things, there's a chance. And it's like the guy likes cheeseburgers and candy and nicknames. And that's kind of why we relate to him, because he's so relatable and revels in these childlike moments. But we can all understand wanting to do good, so we walk into those pearly gates. Now, I think he knows he's been a bad boy. And I think we all know he's been a bad boy. He's not the baddest boy. He's not Diddy, but he's done some things. And he knows the things. And we don't even know all the things he's done, but he knows. And after Butler, he believes he was saved, that God saved his life, and that he is now on a mission from God to put America first and to make peace. And that's great. I don't care.
Okay, this is wild to me. He's talking about, we love Trump, so this is in the cult, because now he's like a child. And before it was, he is such a man. And Jesse Watters saying that Trump is so relatable to the everyday man while he's sitting in an abomination that would humiliate and make Liberace blush with all of the gold guilt. I want to be Marie Antoinette and just completely exploit the poor while I live really rich. That is such a bizarre take. But further in that, is he priming the public for a drop in the Jeffrey Epstein? He's done a lot of bad stuff, not quite Diddy stuff, but he's done some bad stuff. And we don't even know all the bad stuff he's done. Did they know? Did they know what's coming? Because you might remember it was the Wall Street Journal that published the birthday card. And that is owned by Rupert Murdoch, who owns Fox News. And so I always wonder, behind the scenes of the optics of this reality television produced presidency, Murdoch knows, Musk knows, J.D. Vance knows, Peter Thiel knows. They all know that Donald Trump clearly has dementia, is around 90 years old. He's got these cankles. He probably has, major heart problems because the blood can't get up to the heart. And they know that they have to start thinking beyond this presidency. And so are they leaking things out? I don't know. I just thought that was crazy. But here we have Caroline KKK Levitt joining in on Trump's newfound quest to get into heaven.
To get to heaven, was he joking, or is there spiritual motivation behind his peace deals here?
I think the president was serious. I think the president wants to get to heaven, as I hope we all do in this room as well. Annie.
Okay, I can't even. This is so insane that we are having such regressive conversations as a country, that we are allegedly a secular nation, separation of church and state. And now we're talking about Trump trying to be a big boy and a good boy because he had been a bad boy. And now he's trying to get into heaven by sucking up to Vladimir Putin. And I want to remind everybody what's so insidious about all of this is from the moment that Donald Trump met with Vladimir Putin, the following things have happened. Vladimir Putin attached American flags to the advancing tanks of Russia into Ukraine. Donald Trump verbatim has echoed Putin's talking points. And Russia, worst of all, continues to bomb more and more and more, which shows he doesn't respect Trump. He doesn't respect the word of the United States of America. We had to have the world leaders come over to try to talk grandpa out of driving anymore. And this is so completely unhinged that all of these incredibly dangerous things that are happening in geopolitics right now. And the propaganda channel, because they have such an uber religious base, they are talking nonstop about Trump being a good boy and a big boy and trying to get into heaven. It's regressive. It's insanity. And I guess that to watch Fox News and to work for Fox News, you have to wake up every single day and say, I'm going to be dumb today, because it's willful stupidity at this point. All right. Next up, you guys, this is bananas. Okay. So, Trump is all about whitewashing history, right? So he has gone to Lie Social and he puts up this post about slavery. Kylie, pop it up. He says the museums throughout Washington, but all over the country, are essentially the last remaining segment of, quote, woke. The Smithsonian is out of control, where everything discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been. Nothing about success, nothing about brightness, nothing about the future. You guys, what I have to say about this is it talks about how bad slavery was, because it was. I don't know that there are enough words in the English language to accurately describe how bad that was. This is the equivalent of Nazi Germany being presented in a museum in Germany or a Holocaust museum. And then the Chancellor of Germany saying, I'm so tired of everybody talking about how bad Hitler was. I'm so tired of everybody talking about how crazy these concentration camps were. This is completely insane. But here's the problem. Trump saying something insane like this, whatever. He says crazy shit all the time. They are priming the American public for more and more whitewashing. And it's so important, you guys, that you get your news from objective, reliable, factual sources, because the whitewashing is beginning. And that's why Pumps and I every morning go to ground news. We are able to enter in what we want to look up for the day, like this post of Trump, and then see how each side is covering it. And regarding like Trump's health, like if we want to do an episode on Trump's health, how is each side covering it? Ground news just completely organizes all of that for us, labels it. Let me give you an example. The left headline is, his health can't be right. Trump sparks new concern with, quote, heaven talk. The right covers the same thing as Trump seeking peace in Ukraine because he wants to get to heaven. All right. So you got, obviously, it's very important how you get your news, but it's also important to know what the right side is thinking so that you have a clear vantage point of how separated we are in the realities that we live in. And so I encourage each of you to join us by going to groundnews.com/IHIP to get 40% off the Ground News Vantage plan that Pumps and I use every single day. They're subscriber funded and female founded, which is our favorite part. By subscribing, you're not only getting a tool we all need today, you're also supporting our work. That's ground, GROUND, news.com/IHIP or IHIP, and that is pinned right below in the show notes. Okay, back to this batshit news. The White House has dropped some new artwork, and it is just as bad and as trashy as you could ever imagine. Pop this up. All right, here we have, it looks like Trump for sure, like thinning, the artist used thinning imagery with 95,000 American flags. And it's almost like he's leaving an inferno. Like the way I see this is he thinks like the United States, and he always talks about, he shit talks the United States nonstop and has for 10 years. Like that it's just this fiery inferno and he's the superhero that comes out of it. The fact that there's no embarrassment or shame felt, or just like somebody, this is what happens when you don't have diversity involved in an administration. You don't have any gay people involved in an administration that can say, hey, this doesn't look that great. This looks kind of crazy. I think maybe we should get a different piece of art. And so I just wanted to flag that for you guys. And lastly, back to the point about how crazy the MAGA world is. This is a clip from Fox, and this is what a MAGA congressman says about mail-in voting.
Buildings, there were multiple mail-in ballots sent to the same person. Sometimes people would have multiple ballots sent to different addresses. Other times people who were passed away. These are real people. I spoke to large numbers of them, and it's indicative of what happened around the country.
Okay. Representative Jeff Van Drew has spoken to large numbers of dead people about them doing mail-in ballots. You guys, this political party, they sit around and wait. What is Trump going to tell us to do today? What are our marching orders for today? What do we have our bot accounts do? If you're a congressman and you go on Fox or Newsmax, what are my talking points? On my own personal accounts, what am I going to post about? They wait for him to do it. Here's the problem with that, you guys. Trump waits for Putin to tell him what he's supposed to do. So this is not America first. This is two countries before America. It is Israel and Russia first. And all of these Trump sycophants are such betas. They just go along with whatever Kankles tells them to do, and they humiliate themselves on national television, claiming that they speak to dead people about voting multiple times via mail. And here's the problem, you guys, because the Fox viewers are so willfully stupid, they just lap it right up. All right, that's all we have. I'll see you all here in a little bit. Please subscribe and like this video.